have never experienced the kind of fury that I have with mainstream media. Oh, that's right, except outside of 2016. I was posting because, again, we are at the precipice of the end of American democracy as we know it.
Correct.
In the last 2 years, the Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade. They have overturned affirmative action.
Mm-hmm.
They have overturned federal agency regulation, which will affect our ability to have clean air, clean water, health regulations, you name it.
That's Chevron.
In the Chevron decision, which wasn't getting nearly as much play as other as what the immunity case and decision 6-3 decision has done. And we have already, and this goes beside what the Roberts Court did in 2010 with the gutting of the Civil Rights, the Voting Rights Act, with regard to Citizens United and in the influx of money into our political elections that now run into the hundreds of millions for like a House seat or billions for the presidency. We have already lost the key pillars that advanced our society in the 20th century, in the 21st century.
Yep.
And what I saw on that hateful site called X was the headline of, I don't know, the New York Times saying that, what did they have today as the top? Nate Silver. Doing nothing about Biden is the riskiest plan of all. Here's another piece by Friedman. The question President Biden needs to ask himself now. And then why America's adversaries are wrong about the Biden-Trump debate. These are what the opinion writers at the New York Times think is the most important thing that is happening right now.
Well, Danielle, we're recording this Wednesday, the day before July 4th or Independence Day. And this is the paper of record, New York Times. Mm-hmm. And that is, I went and saw that front page, and you literally just went straight to the right to the columns and read exactly what's on the front page. I just want to inform people that something else is happening instead of the debate and Biden's age. Yesterday, and that means Tuesday, imagine, Danielle, if... Let me just imagine. All right. We were creative once. Mm-hmm. Imagine if the president of one of the most influential, think tanks that wrote a blueprint, which the GOP has all accepted, all the donors have accepted, all the right-wing groups have accepted, which lays out the plan for a second Trump administration. Which includes gutting the Department of Education, the EPA, climate change regulations, going after women's rights, going after Social Security, weaponizing the Department of Justice, and so forth. Suppose that guy, I'm just imagine, went on television and openly.
Kevin Roberts.
Oh yeah. Sorry, this is reality. Sorry. My bad. This actually happened. Yeah. So Kevin Roberts, the president of the Heritage Foundation, which is the architect of Project 2025, went on Steve Bannon's War Room show, and Steve Bannon couldn't host it because he had to report to prison. Yeah. So you had a former representative of Virginia, a former Republican House Representative David Brat fill in, and this is what Kevin Roberts said to him on live television. All right, I'm going to quote you.
Please.
And this was in response to the Supreme Court decision, which gives the next president, and let's be honest, it's only Trump and Republicans, near dictatorial powers to do anything if it can be proven it is done within, quote, the official act. If it is done within the official act of the presidency, the president has, quote, absolute immunity. Unofficial acts, it gets punted down to the lower courts. Okay, so this is what Kevin Roberts said, quote, and so I come full circle in this response. And I just want to encourage you with substance that we are in the process of the second American revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be. End quote. Imagine someone said this. What would happen, Danielle?
Well,
do you think it would be big news? Do you think it would be headline news? I don't know.
I would think that it would be headline news. I would think that we would see something to the effect of, we interrupt your current television experience to bring to you breaking news that Republicans, in their fascistic, bloodthirsty coup that has been ongoing since January 6, 2021, have just told you the plans, have just told you what they are doing. That until, right, we all recognize and want to fight back in some type of way, this will remain bloodless. That was a warning, right? That comply or be compressed, right? Like, this is
kneel or die.
Kneel or die. And what we have to understand is that Donald Trump has said that this indefinite second term, right, because he will not leave,
nope,
has nothing to do with America at all. It has everything to do with a campaign of retribution, right, of punishing the people who stood in his way. Yep. And that is everybody from industry leaders on Wall Street to political adversaries to media personalities will be punished and feel the wrath of his power. Folks, this is not hyperbole anymore. The Supreme Court has said all Donald Trump has to do, for instance, is say MSNBC, CNN, ABC, CBS, NPR are enemies of the state.
Yep.
I am taking over the FCC. I am taking over television as you know it. They are enemies of the state. Shut them down. Put the hosts in jail. They are terrorists and are a danger to the public. Tell me, Waj, if he were to round up those people, have a trial, but then hang them, what would he be held accountable for that? For murder?
It's an official act. And so now he can shoot someone from Times Square, and not only will his base not care, he will have absolute immunity. If he says it's an official act, and if the courts say no, it isn't, it'll just get punted down to the lower courts, and it'll be stuck in the legal quagmire for months, perhaps years. He won't care. He'll be president, just like what happened right now to his 4 criminal cases. They've been punted down, right? They will not be in any way, shape, or form prosecuted before the election. Suppose he wins, and right now he's on track to win. What do you think is going to happen to those cases? And we already saw about 2 days after the Supreme Court ruling, what's happening in New York, where a jury of our peers held him accountable and guilty on 34 out of 34 counts for falsifying his business records to pay hush money to adult film star before the 2016 election. And if Americans knew about that case, guess who would have been president? Hillary Clinton. Yeah, guess what? Judge Merchant, with this new ruling, said, well, some of the evidence might have been used. Some of the evidence that was used to convict him might be protected underneath this absolute immunity. And so I have to postpone sentencing. Now I have to postpone it all the way to September. And then once we get to September, maybe they'll appeal something, and then that'll get punted as well. This is, I sometimes think you could not have written the downfall of America better. America will destroy itself for Donald Trump, which is a quintessential American headline, if you think about it, right? A creature of greed, avarice, wealth, white supremacy, and, wait for it, celebrity. Who other than Donald Trump would be the perfect bulldozer to American democracy, right? Like it's almost like if all the sins of this country, both what we've done to our own citizens, the undocumented, and also brown and black people around the world, they have manifested themselves in this avatar of cruelty, which is Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. And he will be the instrument, Danielle, that we will elect and shape and mold from our own hands that will be the source of our destruction.
It's almost Shakespearean.
If Shakespeare liked, cheap beer and tough steak with ketchup.